Hey everyone, today we're going to look at the film Battle Royale, the movie that inspired games like Warzone, Fortnite, and the film The Hunger Games. Please like and subscribe and let's get started. At the dawn of the new millennium, juvenile crime rates skyrocket as society collapses. As a way to combat this, the Millennium Educational Reform Act is passed, also known as the Battle Royale Act. Ninth grader Shuya Nanahara deals with his mother leaving when he was in 4th grade and his father committing suicide when he was in 7th. His teacher Kitano resigned after being knifed by Shuya's best friend Yoshi. Shuya's class believes they are taking a field trip, but he sees military forces. Shuya wakes up to find his class has been gassed. He's struck by a masked woman and knocked out. The students all awake, finding devices around their necks. A helicopter lands and their former teacher Kitano steps out. He enters the room accompanied by military forces. The students are all confused about what's going on. Kitano tells them about the Battle Royale Act and says they must kill one another until there was only one left. Their teacher was opposed to it, so they killed him. A video explaining the rules of Battle Royale is played. One of the students isn't paying attention and Kitano throws a knife in her head. The kids will be transported to a deserted island, broken up into zones. 4 times a day an announcement will be made about which zones are dangerous. The kids need to move from these zones immediately, otherwise the collars around their necks will explode. There's absolutely no way of removing these collars without setting them off. Yoshi starts raging and Kitano activates his collar. He runs around panicking until suddenly it explodes. The game has a time limit of 3 days. If there is no winner by then, all the collars will explode. One of the kids asks why they're doing this and Kitano says it's their own damn fault. Each student will be given a bag of supplies, food, water, and a random weapon or item. The students are given their bags one by one as the game begins. Shuya leaves to find one of his classmates with an arrow through her neck already. He grabs a friend, Noriko, and the two run off together. They look in their bags and all they got were a pot lid and binoculars. A group of students start to push around and bully one of the transfers, Kiriyama. Kiriyama grabs one of their weapons and guns all of them down, taking with him whatever they were carrying. 2 students unable to cope with it all jump into the rocky waters below. The first announcement of the day is made at 6 a.m. the following morning. They're told all the names of their dead classmates and where the first danger zones are going to be. Shuya and Noriko need to move as they're in the danger zone. They're attacked by a fellow student with a hatchet, but Shuya accidentally kills him off during the scuffle. Another student tries shooting them with a pistol, but is killed by one of the transfer students, Kawada, with a shotgun. They hear an announcement being made by another student saying to stop killing one another and to meet up so they can figure this out together. Shuya wants to go, but Kawada tells him not everyone wants to be friendly out there. The 2 girls that made the announcement are then gunned down by Kiriyama. Kawada tells them to come with him or kill themselves now if they can't go on. The next announcement is made of all the classmates killed and new danger zones. A couple girls fight over past transgressions with boys and one of the girls is gunned down. Shuya and Noriko are walking and Noriko passes out from exhaustion and her arm wound. Shuya carries her to a clinic, but has to be weary as anyone could be around. Kawada is there asking them what they want, but he lets them in. Shuya asks why he's helping them and all Kawada says is his father was a doctor. One of the students finds 3 others as they're struggling with a generator on some stairs. The boys carry it up, hooking up cell phones and a laptop. They think they have a plan to get out of this situation. One of the boys has a tracking device. He's going to go find Shuya and bring him back. The boys discover there are mics in their collars and listening to them. They need a specific list of ingredients for their plan to work out. The next announcement is made of all the dead students. Kitano is upset as there are only 3 deaths this time, so he's adding more danger zones. There will be a new one every hour from now on. Shuya, Noriko, and Kawada are enjoying some rice Kawada made. He reveals that he was in this game 3 years ago. He was the lone survivor. He killed everyone trying to protect the love of his life, but as time drew close, they turned on one another and he shot her. They held him back in school so they could bring him back to this game. Kawada tells them he knows a way off the island, but can only tell them when the time comes. He hands Shuya a gun to protect Noriko. They hear gunfire and get down. Kiriyama chases a kid shooting at him with his Uzi. Kawada tells them if they get separated to meet at Takano's shrine. Kiriyama shoots the kid, but luckily his pack had a bulletproof vest. Dummy, however, is too loud and Kiriyama comes down on him with a sword. Kiriyama is at the door and the boys get ready to shoot. He tosses in the head of the student with a grenade in his mouth. They jump out of the way just in time. Kiriyama sprays bullets inside of the building and Shuya tells Kawada to look after Noriko as he runs out of the building with Kiriyama in pursuit. Shuya shoots him, but he's wearing the body armor. Shuya jumps in the water as another boy tackles Kiriyama. The boy jumps in the water after Shuya while Kiriyama sprays more bullets. The boys from earlier return with the supplies. They're going to create explosives to destroy the school and hack the system with their computer. Shuya awakes in a bed at a lighthouse. A young girl took care of his wounds after his friend carried him in. Shuya tells her they need to find Kawada as he knows a way out. She goes downstairs to tell the other girls Shuya is awake. They're making lunch, but one of them is carrying poison. The girl with the poison wants to feed Shuya first, and she mixes the poison in his food. One of the other girls, however, grabs the bowl and starts to eat. She starts bleeding from the mouth and dies on the table. One of the girls grabs a gun and asks who did it. The girls all start shooting one another as their emotions take over. The only one that doesn't die, however, is the girl that poisoned the food. Shuya is locked in the room but wants to know what happened. The girl lets Shuya out and starts running up the lighthouse. Shuya follows her to the top and finds her body on the rocks below. Only 10 students remain of the original 40. Noriko is having a dream about eating popsicles with her teacher Kitano. Noriko leaves, running off to find Shuya. Kawada tells her to wait, they're near a danger zone. She comes across another girl, Mitsuko, who has a body count to rival anyone else in this game. Mitsuko was about to shoot but runs away scared. Noriko turns and Kitano is standing there. Shuya arrives all injured and Kitano hands her his umbrella and leaves. Shuya tells her he'll stay by her side until the end. Mitsuko kills another girl and we see a flashback when she was younger. A man drugged her mother and tried to molest her, but she kicks him downstairs where he breaks his neck and dies. She looks over the body of the girl she shot, and Kiriyama comes up behind and shoots her. He goes in close to take her weapons, but she isn't dead yet. She tries to fight, but he's too much for her. Kitano announces all the recent deaths. We're back with the boys making the bombs and trying to hack into the systems. They're successful getting in and we see warning flash across all the screens back at the school. The military freak out as they're being rewritten. Kitano shuts the system down and tells them to restart it. The boys fill a truck with the explosives that they plan to ram into the school, but Kiriyama puts an end to the celebrations as he starts shooting. One of the boys sets off the truck trying to kill Kiriyama. Just then, the other 3 arrive, finding everything in flames. Kiriyama slowly walks out from the fiery building. Kawada tells them to stay put as he faces off with Kiriyama. Kiriyama sprays bullets as the explosion blinded him. Kawada shoots his collar, blowing it up and killing Kiriyama. Shuya, Noriko, and Kawada are the last of the remaining students. Kawada pulls a gun on them, saying he used them to get off the island. He shoots twice and the military say they need to confirm the deaths. Kitano says it's all over and forget it. Kawada is named the winner and the military start to leave. Kitano is by himself doing exercises when Kawada shows up limping. Kitano congratulates him on winning and gives him some food, but he pulls a gun on him saying he cheated and deactivated the collars. Just then Shuya and Noriko show up with the guns pointed on Kitano. Kitano seems to have a strange obsession with Noriko. He pulls a gun on her saying shoot me or I'll shoot you, and Shuya unloads his Uzi on him. Kitano, however, only had a water gun and wanted to die. The kids take their collars off and the phone begins to ring. Kitano somehow gets up to answer the phone. He tells his ungrateful kids he isn't coming home, eats a cookie, and then dies. The 3 of them leave on a boat together. Kawada lays down to rest and dies of his wounds. Shuya and Noriko are now wanted for murder in connection with Kawada. They're going to be on the run for the rest of their lives, and the film comes to an end. Hey, I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you haven't seen the movie, I really recommend checking it out. If you could please like the video and subscribe, it would mean the world to me. Thank you all for watching and take care.